So I got this National Geographic tumbler for Christmas, and I was so excited to get it up and running that I just threw everything in and got it going before recording anything. So this is the very first barrel check for my first batch in my brand new National Geographic tumbler. So I'll check every rock by hand, make sure it's smooth enough to move on to stage 2, and put the ones that aren't smooth enough back in the barrel to roll again for another week in stage 1. Now you want the barrel to be 3/4 full, so I do need to add some more in. Those are the ones that are ready to move on to stage 2. So we'll add some more rocks to fill up the barrel so that it's got enough to keep rolling. Add a few tablespoons of 60-90 coarse grit from the rock shed, seal it back up, and get it going. So something that I quickly learned while rock tumbling is that it takes a heck of a lot longer to go through stage 1 than the instruction booklet would lead you to believe. So here we are doing another barrel check after another week in stage 1, dumping them out, rinsing them off, checking them one by one to see how they're coming along, setting aside the ones that are ready for stage 2, and putting back the ones that aren't. Here are the ones ready for stage 2. And once again, we'll load it back up to the proper fullness level. Get water in there just under the top layer of rocks. Add in more stage 1 60-90 grit from the rock shed and seal it back up for another week in stage 1. This is it, guys. Finally, after many weeks tumbling along in stage 1, we will have enough rocks that are smooth enough to move on to stage 2. So we've got that barrel clean out, checking them all again. That's how many came out of the barrel this week, but fear not, I've got all the ones that we have been saving along the way. So between those and the ones that came out of the barrel this week ready for stage 2, we can get a whole stage 2 barrel loaded up. And to say that I am so excited at this point is an understatement. With all of the rocks that are ready to move on to stage 2, the barrel is about halfway full. Now to get it up to 3/4 full, we're going to add some ceramic media from the rock shed. This does two things. One, it does add volume to get us where we need to be, but it also adds cushioning to the rocks as they tumble and makes sure that the grit can really just contact as much surface of the rocks as possible by getting into every single nook and cranny. Time to get the barrel closed up and sent on its merry way through stage 2. Ooh, the slurry this week is extra thick. So here they are, all ready for stage 3. I've already put them back in the barrel with some water because you do not want to let the rocks dry out between stages at this point. However, I am gonna dry off just a couple of my favorites to show you how they're coming along. So here's a really pretty piece of tiger eye. There's no shine yet. I am concerned about this one because of this crack. One, that can hold on to grit between stages, and 2, I don't want it to break, but it is what it is. And I don't know why I have been obsessed with this piece of chevron amethyst from the beginning. It is so cute and so pretty, and it's gonna make a very pretty necklace when we're done. Time to get the barrel loaded up with 3 tablespoons of stage 3 pre-polish. So even though you really shouldn't get them dry at this point, I wanted to dry off a couple just to show you what they look like before the burnish cycle and after the burnish cycle. So the burnish cycle is just where you essentially wash the rocks. Some people use borax, some people use soap, like ivory soap or Dawn. I used Dawn. So you saw that piece of amethyst before it went into the burnish, and I am about to show you what it looks like after the burnish. But oh my gosh, I don't know if you saw it there, that water. You see how black that water is? That's all the grit and grime that's been getting stuck on these rocks as they've been tumbling along. So that burnish stage is really important. And here is that same rock just after the burnish. No extra polish or anything. It was only in the burnish for like 2 hours. And now you can see how much shine there is already before it's even going to go into that polish stage. And here is that adorable little chevron amethyst from last week. I just love it so stinking much. Time to get everything loaded back up into the barrel and into the polish round. Y'all, I don't know about you, but I am so excited to see how these turn out. It is time to see how the very first National Geographic batch has turned out. Okay, that's good. That's what we want to see. So I have just pulled these out of the burnish cycle. They are still wet. I'm going to dry them off and we'll check how they did. Well, folks, disaster has struck. Our beautiful, adorable little chevron amethyst has snapped in half. And it didn't even happen in the barrel. I literally just dropped it about a minute ago and boop, broke in half. Anyway, here is our final result, all dried off. Some are gorgeous and shiny, and some didn't shine so well. There are quite a few that have a lot of bruising and fractures. So that one's like covered in fractures. And then bruising is when the edges, it's kind of hard to tell with that one. The edges get kind of a cloudy appearance. So you can kind of see on this tiger eye how it has like this cloudy appearance on the edge. And that is something that happens a lot with the National Geographic tumblers. They spin faster than most other tumblers and they can be really hard on the rocks. I wanted to finish this entire batch in the National Geographic tumbler, so I did. But honestly, most of them are gonna go back into stage 2, maybe even stage 1 in one of my other tumblers, maybe my Lortone or my tumblers, and we're gonna try to tumble them again and get a smoother finish. But here's the reveal.